We're going to stencil. Find a stencil you would like to trace. If the stencil is plastic or laminated, you can use paint or a drawing media. I make sure my first name, last name, and teacher code are on the backs of my papers. And I can either take this, I'm using a marker, I could use any other type of drawing tool, trace it, and then color it in. Right now, what I'm just doing is I'm tracing it and coloring it in as I go with my marker. Maybe I only want to trace part of it so that I can create the rest of my picture. That is up to you. You're allowed to do that. There's nothing that says you can't. Or, let's say I want to use paint. Again, my name and teacher code are on the back. I can put this any way I'd like to. I get a little bit of paint, a very thin layer of it, and I dab. I just use the tippy top of my paintbrush. I got a little bit more on there because my paintbrush fell. And I'm going to dab what I want blue. If I don't want the entire thing blue, I'm not going to dab those spots. Again, when I dab, I just dab the tippy top of my paintbrush. Oh, this moved a little tiny bit. I'm also using a flat paintbrush. You can also use a stencil paintbrush. They tend to be flat, but also a little bit stiffer. I am using what I call our kindergarten flat paintbrushes, and those are a lot more stiff. Now, I'm going to do the body blue, and let's add a little more color in here. So, I'm leaving the stencil down so it doesn't move. I'm just using the tippy top of a sponge. You can use sponges or paintbrushes. I'm showing you, you don't have to use them together, but I'm showing you how to use both of them so that you can use either one you want. Now, I have to be careful because I can go over my blue a little bit and mix the colors. I don't want my colors to be mixed in this. Again, I just use a little tiny bit and I dab, dab, dab. When I pull this away, I should have my beautiful butterfly. And I can put it on my drying rack. The stencil then, and this goes for if you're doing jelly plates and stencils or just stencils. The stencil has to go into the sink and you need to wipe it off with running water.